Hi, everyone. I'm Carolyn Ray, the CEO of JourneyWoman, and today we wanted to introduce you to our next 6 books for 2023. And with me today is Tina Hardis from Trip Fiction.
Hello.
From London, and Sally Jane Smith from Australia.
Hi, good morning. It's still morning here.
Yeah, you're up early, Sally. We're missing one of our really important team members, Wendy Brooke, who unfortunately couldn't be here today due to a work emergency, but we're going to carry on and share with you our next 6 books for 2023. So our first book that we're going to talk about is Remember Me by Charity Norman. And Tina, do you want to tell us a little bit about that book?
I will. I think I was very, very struck by, the element of a missing person and also of dementia. And it's one woman's experience of the two, and a bit of sleuthing, a bit of wondering what's going on. And I've always enjoyed Charity Norman's books. She's slightly maybe under the right radar, but needs, she really deserves a wider readership. I'd love to promote her book because I think it's subtly written and has a really good, punchy storyline. So I think it's a really great addition to the book club this time.
And it's set in New Zealand, which is a place that we all want to go to.
And, I've only been once, and I think that's where she's based. So, it really feels like a New Zealand book, which is lovely.
Wonderful. So that's going to be our April book. Our May book is called, make sure I get the right one here, The Kimono Tattoo by Rebecca Copeland, and that's set in Kyoto.
And that, again, I listened to this as an audiobook, and I had the most wonderful narrator, which kind of just added something to it. But I think it really brings to life the culture of Japan, materials. And obviously, there is somebody, I won't give too much away, but it involves tattooing. And it's just so tactile. I always think of Japan as having a lot of materials, and so somehow the beauty of material and weaving and tapestries really comes to life amid an interesting murder mystery.
Lovely. And also Japan is a book. I don't think we've read any books about Japan in the last 3 years of the book club. So I'm really excited to read this one.
Yeah. And I think it's an unusual choice. It's very different. It has a very different premise. And I think that's really nice.
Excellent. Our June book is called The Girl with the Louding Voice by Abi Dare, and it's set in Nigeria. And Sally, I know you're a big fan of this one.
Oh, yes, this is a book I read back in 2020, and it's one of those books that just keeps on popping into my mind. I probably think about it on at least, a monthly basis since then. It is a book that has the most amazing voice. The protagonist's voice evolves in this book in a way that I haven't seen in any other book that I've read. No spoilers, but it follows a 14-year-old Nigerian girl who starts out in a situation where she's valued by her family as not much more than a commodity, but she has this powerful drive to take control of her own life. So although the book covers some subject matter that could, in other hands, leave you feeling a bit despondent, things like child marriage and indentured servitude, the author, Abi Dare, a Nigerian author, she creates something that's the opposite. It's an astoundingly hopeful and empowering book. So I'm really looking forward to reading it again.
Oh, lovely. Great choice. Our July book is called What the Psychic Told the Pilgrim, a midlife misadventure on Spain's Camino to Santiago de Compostela by Jane Christmas. And this was a book that was suggested a few years ago for our book club, actually, and I read it 2 summers ago, and I have never laughed so hard in my whole life. I just loved it. It's not really one of these, typical Camino books that's talking about the personal journey and like so many Camino books. Jane is she's so funny and she's so hilarious. And I think it's a nice light read. And for anyone who's thinking about doing the Camino, I think you'd enjoy the book as well. I had the opportunity to meet Jane in Bath in the UK when I was there last fall. We had tea together, And she's actually walking the Camino again right now from the very bottom of Spain back up. So I'm sure she'll have some new stories to tell, and I'm hoping she'll do a little interview with me about this book. And I'm really excited to feature it as our July book.
It sounds like a really good read, and particularly if you're going to go on the Camino.
It is, because there's so many, I think, expectations about the Camino, and she kind of busts those apart and says, do it for you. Right? Don't do it for others, do it for yourself. So,
and as an aside, just how wonderful is it to meet an author for tea in Bath? It sounds like it's just beautiful.
Yeah, no, that was lovely. The next book we're going to do in August now, so we're working our way through the summer, is called Still Life by Sarah Winman, and I actually picked this one up this week, Sally. I know that's a favorite of yours.
Oh, very much. I first heard about this book in one of my favorite podcasts that matches books with places. It's a podcast called Strong Sense of Place, and they rated it as one of their favorite books in 2022. I was attracted to it because my father was a teenage soldier in Italy at the end of World War II, and that's what drew me to the book. And the pages of this book are just so filled with beauty. It brings together all different kinds of love. It's very much a story of found family, of how we meet people in our lives who become as important to us as those we are related to by blood. But it's also a story that is just imbued with the flavors of Florence. There is a lot of art history in it. There is a sense of a community that comes together in adversity, both the adversities of war, but also the adversities of natural disasters, which is something I think that we've become more conscious of over the years, and coming together to save each other, but also to save art. It's a lovely book, and I love that it has a sprinkle of literary references as well. Even the author of A Room with a View, Ian Foster, he makes a cameo appearance or two, so it's just a beautiful read.
Now, it is a bigger book, at least the print version. So I think that's one of the reasons we put it later in the summer, just to give everyone a chance to read it and get a hold of it and really enjoy it. But who doesn't love Florence? I mean, I can't wait to get into that.
It's a really lovely book for Florence. And there's also a parrot in there, I think.
Yes, there is. I'd forgotten the parrot.
That explains the cover. Amazing. And our last book is actually one that I just read when I was living in Spain this past fall, called The Seamstress. And it's been translated from Spanish into English, also called The Time in Between. And it was made into, I think, a Netflix series, perhaps. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But it's by Maria Duenas. And the reason that I wanted to share this book with you in our book club is because I learned so much about Spain's history. It's set in Morocco, but it's mostly about Spain, the Spanish Civil War, and it really helps you understand the history of Spain. And so when you visit Spain, which is, a country with a complicated history, I think it gives you a much better understanding of the regions of Spain that you're traveling through and what this country has been through. Because Franco, I think he was ruling Spain until 1976 or 1979. I forget the exact date, but not that long ago. So, so this is a bit of historical fiction, but told from the perspective of the seamstress, of the main character. And I just loved reading this book. I could not put it down, and I believe she's got some other books as well. So those are our next 6 books for the JourneyWoman Book Club. And we try to pick books that will inspire you to travel, but also help us think and give us lots to talk about on our book club calls, which happen every month on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully you can join us on one of our calls, but if not, we hope these books give you something to think about and new places to explore. So any closing thoughts, Tina, Sally?
Yeah. There's a lovely variety this time, and I think you've got a bit of historical, a bit of memoir, and some great locations. So I think that's absolutely wonderful.
Yes, I'm really excited about reading these 6 reads. We talk about a lot of books in the background before we make our final selections. And I think that what we've put together this time is going to give us a lot of diversity.
Yeah, we're going to New Zealand, Japan, Spain, Morocco a couple times, but we love Spain and Morocco, and Italy. So, so many books in the world. It's so hard to choose, as you say, Sally, and we've spent a lot of time going through Sally's spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Okay,
Such a lot of work. Thank you.
I'm a bit of a spreadsheet geek.
The truth is coming out. The truth is coming out. Anyways, thank you, ladies. And we look forward to seeing you at our next JourneyWoman Book Club.
And see you soon.